guys, and welcome to my channel. And in today's video I am looking at some vintage Winsor & Newton palettes. You should know by now, if you followed my channel for a little while, that I love going on eBay and finding old vintage palettes. Winsor & Newton are particularly good for this because they have lots of vintage palettes out there available. These are two that I got. These ranged, I think these are about £15 to £20 each, all with watercolours from ages ago. They are both described as artist watercolours. One set included 12, the other one I think included 24, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. Quite a lot of colours. So this is the pans on one of them. You can see they're plastic. On one of the palettes they actually had metal half pans. In both sets some of the colours were the same in both sets, and I do compare them as well at the bottom. Now what I found odd with this is all of the pans re-wetted, well most of them re-wetted really easily, and that's not common in today's line of Winsor & Newton, in either their artist range or their common. They don't re-wet very well in today's recipe of the paints. Another thing that I noticed was that there were some name changes or discontinued paints from the line as well, and I will see if I can remember those. Some of them are slightly easier to spot than renaming, such as one of the blues is an ultramarine blue. They called it something different. So first off, I did the smaller 12 half pan palette. Now what drew me to this one was that it was similar to the ones I've seen all over YouTube from Nielsen, which is a shop based here in the UK. It's a small palette with, instead of having like clips to hold the pans in, it's like a bar. And I've been interested in trying to find those, and they are about £20 without painting them, so I jumped to the chance for this one, which came with paint. You can see here one of the yellows which were slightly unusual, a chrome yellow, which is slightly unusual and a new pigment to me. All of the colours seemed quite pigmented, and none of them really had too much of a drying shift. I'm surprised that after all these years of them sitting in the pans that they're still quite soft. A lot of the paints were soft or tacky, I found. Unfortunately, some of the paints just came with a name. Well, all the paints came with a name, none of them came with a pigment number. So I don't know which pigments were in them. I could take a guess, that's just ones that are labelled yellow ochre or a sort of vermilion. I know is like what the pigment numbers are based off their current line. There were some colours in the larger set that did surprise me, one of those being a Prussian Green, and it was labelled Prussian Green and it came out like a real green colour. I think that's it there next to the brown. There's also that strange green colour that I just showed you. That was really soft. And there was also another colour, yellow. It was labelled Naples yellow, and it was really strange. It was really soft, as if it had just been poured from the tube of paint, which was really strange for Winsor and Newton colours. But however, it was a really nice yellow. So here I'm just going to compare the colours that were labelled the same in each set to see if they were actually the same, and for most of them they were pretty similar. Some were different, most however were pretty much the same. There is this interesting colour that I noticed in both sets called light red. It's a red earth colour. I'm assuming a little bit similar to PR 101, but not as opaque or earthy. This is one of the differences here, the blues. You can see the blue on the right is a lot more intense and a lot darker than the one on the left. Same as the light red you can see there. Winsor & Newton are quite an old company, so their paint formulas have changed quite a bit over the last 100 years. And I'm not sure how old these palettes actually are. I'm going to take the guess that one of them is they're both at least sort of 40 years old, I'm imagining. They look like they've come from the 80s or beyond. And this last yellow, I believe, on there somewhere, is quite an unusual yellow. There we go. I feel that might have been mislabelled. That is quite a bright opaque pigment compared to the one on the left. So this brings us to the end of the video now. Have you guys ever found any old vintage palettes on anywhere? If so, please do let me know. So thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.